Okay, I want to be really honest and take you through my journey with chaos. So, from someone that has gone from fearing it to embracing it to actually thriving in it, how did I make this transition happen and why should you do the same? I'm sure if you're here, you're curious about the different side hustles available, what it might mean to work online, and how you can actually create your own online business. So, let me take you back to how chaos impacted my decision to become an appointment setter. So, take you back to 2023, the start of it. So, quite a while ago now, nearly 3 years. And I really was victim to all of those Instagram posts where it was like, join me and live this dream life. You can live exactly like me. And fair enough, you can, but that's not going to be all down to one single course. You need to be able to adapt. And what I mean by that is you're getting all, oh my God, a fly just hit me. It's late English summer. But what I mean by that is you need to have these tools and you need to be willing to put your own spin on them. When I first learned appointment setting, I onboarded a client through the academy that trained me. Amazing, lots of insights, but I still felt like I had a manager. It wasn't until I had the opportunity to onboard a client independently that I realised there are quite a lot of chaotic parts that maybe that manager would come in handy. However, I knew that if I actually wanted to be successful as an appointment setter and have the same success as the girls that had got me in and trained me, I really needed to be willing to own these relationships with clients, grow with them, learn from them, and embrace them. And yes, what I am saying here is every client relationship is a bit chaotic because there is no one size fits all. And that's because think about all the businesses, all of the industries, all of the personalities of these online businesses, and you need to be willing to adapt to every single one. It was when I onboarded my first independent client that I noticed there were other arms of her business that directly impacted my commission as an appointment setter. What I mean by this was her lead flow needed to be optimized in different places for me to perform at my best self as an appointment setter. And by helping her improve this, I could actually increase my own commission. What I ended up doing was getting on a consultation call with my client and actually widening the scope of my role. So it meant that I was actually going to be in charge of her mailing list as well as the leads on Instagram DMs. I could then invoice more at the end of each month and I learned a lot more about a business. But that being said, this was not something that I'd been trained, but I was willing to embrace that chaos so that I could learn more, earn more, and just live more. So, what I'm saying here is with any role, whether you're in a 9 to 5, whether you're working remotely, whether you're starting your own thing, you need to be looking at it from the point of view of where is it chaotic and how can you help support that? What actually can you do to improve your life long term and feel confident bringing those solutions to your client, to the person that you work for, because they are going to love it. I promise you that. And that is step one of embracing the chaos. Very basic, like literally just look for anything chaotic in the business that you're working with, anything chaotic in the business that you're offering. Even when you look at your target audience of a business that you own, of a business that you're working for, what are all of their problems and how can you provide a solution? So just literally, this is just scoping around yourself. What chaos is there? Embrace it, thrive in it. So up next, what has been my experience when it comes to owning your own schedule as an online business owner? And there's one word that can sum it up better than all the rest, and you have probably guessed it, that is chaos. So when I first quit my 9 to 5 and I had 6 hours of clients, work that I needed to do each day, 5 days a week, it did mean that I can travel wherever I want. And I did get caught in a bit of the loop where it was like, I have to say yes to anything. Not just holidays, not just working remotely, not just moving to Bali, but actually seeing people during the day. So my grandparents, for instance, I'd go out for a 3 hour lunch and I'd end up backlogging my work into the evening. But this is exactly why I started remote working. And I think there is a sense of like sometimes you can take it a bit too far, where I was literally in Bali on the back of a Gojek. I was sending DMs, but thinking I've got to do half an hour more before I can fully relax this evening. So you do end up cutting it to the wire quite a lot. And luckily, appointment setting does offer you that flexibility where you can be doing it on the go. But other jobs and other online industries, you actually do have to be pretty strict with yourself. So you can embrace the chaos, but you also need to set those boundaries. And I just did a YouTube video on boundaries because I think they're so important when it comes to starting your own thing and just really safeguarding a bit of your mental health. But yeah, I definitely have embraced the chaos when it comes to owning my schedule, but the key word here is schedule, and now I'm in a bit of a zone of, okay, I need to be blocking out my calendar. And now two words that you probably haven't heard side by side are chaos and progression. So how can embracing the chaos influence your career progression, your relationship progression, your personal progression? So let's go to relationships. I have been a bit of an agony aunt for many over the years since being single. So I know my stuff at this point. Let me tell you how you can embrace the chaos in a relationship to actually progress it to the next level. So person A, person B. Person A comes to you and they're saying oh, I wish we could progress in this way because I've seen that my friend's getting engaged and I wish that I could get engaged. What should person B do? He needs to be quite rational. He can't just shut down. He can't just go all in and get engaged because person A said that they wanted to. But he needs to formulate a solution that can give her worry a big embrace, like embracing the chaos. Because you're essentially embracing a fear of the other person. And this doesn't mean just putting a lid on it and then hoping it doesn't blow up for a bit, but actually thinking how can I improve this situation to help our overall relationship progress? And obviously, I can give you a lot of examples in the working world as well. So for example, a client that I'm working with, they might come to me and say, I'm quite concerned because the ads that I have got up at the moment, I don't feel they are pulling in enough qualified leads. And instead of just being okay, that's chaos, I'm not touching it, I can actually go back and say, I'm embracing it. I'm going to see exactly why the ads aren't pulling in the qualified leads, having conversations with the leads that have pulled through, what has attracted them, and then actually feeding back to my client and saying, this is what I've noticed after doing a bit of a deep dive. And then by embracing that chaos, I'm actually obviously showing my strength as a setter, duh, but I'm also going to be improving their business and therefore my business. So by embracing these different modes of chaos, you actually end up thriving in it, because if you had just said, oh, okay, let me know when that ad situation sorted out, then you would not have been able to prove yourself as a setter and actually level up in the sense that you're going to be gaining more trust from that client. It really just all comes down to having a complete mindset shift when it comes to chaos. And honestly, I tell you, no word of a lie, I ran from chaos, or people would see me get so internally stressed when it would follow me at my old 9 to 5. I used to be very much checking in with my manager, just checking that I'm doing the right thing, wanting to follow everything by the book. And when you own your own online business or start one, if you don't embrace chaos, it's going to be really hard for you to grow. So let's recap. You cannot expect it to be a one shoe fits all, because that is not how it works in what world? We're all such individual people. There's gonna be no situation where it's one size fits all, and that's what you really need to think before stepping into a new opportunity. Then next, I really want you to think about boundary setting when it comes to chaos. So actually understanding what chaos you should embrace and where you're taking it too far. For example, for me, I was traveling too much and I didn't actually put enough emphasis on my business, not only on a personal level, but also to all of the relationships around me, where people did think I was free a lot more than I was. And I ended up burning myself out in a way that I'd never had before, which was that I was having too much fun and then trying to fit in work. So it's all about setting those boundaries and knowing when to say no to chaos. Embracing it can still be hun, you sit over there sort of situation. And finally, just thinking about how you can support progression by actually giving chaos a big old hug and improving and building on where you're at. So yeah, that's all about embracing chaos, and I really hope you like that. I've really enjoyed filming this out here because I'm in England, it's been cold. I was wearing 2 jumpers earlier inside and a thermal, and I've just come out and I'm ready to do my Pilates now because I'm really hot actually. This is England. This is England. I swear it's 19 degrees now and the sun's out, but unfortunately, because it is England, it's also October tomorrow and the garden is nearly in the shade, so I am going to have to love and leave, but I will be back tomorrow.